lifestyle designers. This is Zach Martin Kilgore here with Secrets of Longevity in Humans.com. Pretty much everyone, when they begin exercising or playing sports or doing some sort of physical activity, have the underlying intention of doing it for health and longevity. Now, ideally, this is the intention you want to have, and you want to stay true to that. When you veer off the intention of health and longevity, you end up going into exercising for vanity or exercising for competition. Now, don't get me wrong, exercising for those reasons is better than not exercising at all, of course. But if we want to have the ultimate intention of longevity, exercising for vanity or competition can actually not provide the results we're looking for, or that we actually want but might not realize at the time. When you get caught up in the intention of vanity or competition, what can occur is that you increase your chances of injury, for instance. You can end up overtraining certain parts of your body for vanity reasons, obviously. If you're overdoing the upper body and not enough on the lower body, that creates muscle imbalances. If you're just focused on trying to lose weight, you're obviously going to be avoiding other exercises that can also be beneficial, just because you're so set on one goal. And then also, if you're in a situation where you are focused on a goal outside of yourself, such as losing weight, but also such as winning something, that's also detracting from being present in your body, which is what exercise is about. Exercise is meant to bring you into your body, increase bodily awareness, and improve your health. But if you're engaged in an activity that is using poor ergonomics and is just generally that sport has inbuilt problems into it, such as, now I don't have anything against this, but squash, for instance, is notorious for giving people bad knees over the long term, even short term. So I don't really see a point in doing an exercise if you're going to end up with an injury that disables you from being able to participate in enjoying life to its fullest when you're in your later years. Now, if you specifically have a lot of fun or a passion about a certain sport or exercise, of course do it. But perhaps learn ways that you can avoid getting trapped into the cycle of negative habits such as competition and vanity. Even exercises such as gardening or farming, which people generally don't think of as exercise, do have the underlying intention of health and longevity, because clearly if someone's in a position where they're farming for a living, they're doing that to live. They're trying to create their life through that. That's their work. So that in and of itself is the intention for health and longevity. And this is what is seen in the longest lived cultures around the world. These cultures are often, in the majority of cases, in developing nations where farming or gardening is a way of life or part of their life to help sustain their income, or it's their main income to generate food. And they don't have gyms, obviously, in these areas of the world, but they do have constant low impact movement, such as chores around the home, cutting wood, gardening and farming like I mentioned, and general manual labor. In modern society, because people are more often working in situations where they're in an office, at a desk, in front of a computer, in a factory, in retail, or any of these jobs where there's little macro motor movements, but instead micro motor movements. So what I mean is smaller movements instead of big movements. So if you're gardening and farming, you're doing big movements with your body. But if you're doing smaller, more compact movements, that goes against the way the human body was designed. So yes, in our situation, we have a need for these tasks that require these finer movement skills, which is fine, except we need to on a periodic basis engage in the larger motor movements. So the longevity societies around the world that have this as their daily life don't need to go to gyms, they don't need to weight train, they don't need to do weight-bearing exercises, etc., because they're doing that all day long, albeit in a smaller, not as intense way, because it's staggered over the entire day. But if you're working in a job or situation where you're doing finer, smaller movements, you need to have a certain period of your day where you are exercising for the purpose of health and longevity. So doing these types of larger, more vigorous exercises makes up for the fact that we're sitting around most of the day doing more work with our minds and less with our actual body. One of the benefits of exercising for longevity is that you will naturally create in yourself the results of exercising for vanity or competition. However, you won't be stuck in that external trap or mind trap. You'll end up having the body that you want. You'll end up being the weight that you want. You'll end up having the speed, strength, and willpower that you want. But you won't be, those aren't your goals. Those are just things that you get from having the intent of longevity.